song playing. All right, we live now. Find some jams, y'all. It's another episode of the Not Afraid to Lose podcast, y'all. Go ahead and play a joint real quick. Let's go here.
Yo, you're the chosen one.
Go, dummy. Feeling like my time been stolen. Okay, I'm rolling. Ain't nobody controlling. Controller. Nobody can expose him. Okay, he golden. Okay, he chosen. Heart so cold off the champagne. Nobody get closer. They say love is hopeless. I had to refocus. Back to the money, and you know I'm running. You can see the views from the sideline. If you see the badge of the heart broke, that's all shit. I'm coping. Every time I pull up, she open. Like it's stolen. Can I hit it from the back to the morning? Then I nut it in her mouth with no warning.
Baby, can I slide through clutch like a stick shift? Gave her so much dick, it's ridiculous. Sex game, nosebleed seats is upper level, so they can never dig this deep. I broke the shovel. Players like us only happen once a millennium. We just hit the cards life gave and started dealing them. It's like we poison niggas' IVs, the drip killing them. It's basic bitch vibes in your eyes, I ain't feeling them. Name ain't Randy, but bitch, I live a savage life. Die 1,000 times before I ever live an average life. Penitentiary chances, trapping for a lavish life. Stacking Rick Franklin's all day, now she glad it's night. Ay, it's summertime every day when your bag is right. Ay, every time it rains, I just catch a flight. Ay, you gon' let an entrepreneur smash a night. This dick so good, she'll fiend for it in the afterlife. Feeling like my time's been stolen.
Okay, I'm rolling. Ain't nobody controlling.
All right, y'all. Everybody, welcome in, y'all, to the third episode of the Not Afraid to Lose podcast. Got a very special guest in here with me right now. Y'all make sure y'all share the live, please share the live. Support my boy Coach Graves, man.
What's happening, man? How we doing?
Head varsity coach of the Chavez Titans High School. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm blessed, man. How you doing? How's your day going?
Oh, I'm pretty good, man. Pretty good, man. Maintaining. I'm blessed. I can't complain. It wouldn't help if I did.
Come on, that part. That's what I say all the time.
Help if I did at all. But man, it's an honor to have you in here, man, for this third episode, man. Appreciate you for taking time out your evening away from your family and stuff, man. Definitely want to get this interview started off. So we're going to go ahead and get it going, get it rolling, y'all, because I don't want to take up too much of your time. First, can you tell us a few things about yourself, like where you from and how was your upbringing?
Yeah, no, I'm born and raised in Stockton, California. I think it's just an average Stockton story, man. Just you got to choose to make the right choices. I was raised by my mom and grandma, pops is around, and football has been a part of my life, and other sports have been a part of my life since I was a young man, and it really developed me, and it made me the person I am today.
Dope. That's what's up, man. It's always good to have that them Stockton roots in you, man. Because if you can survive Stockton, you can survive anywhere.
100%. I always tell. It's one of those things that even when I was deciding to come back after I graduated college, you got options, right? You start thinking, do I want to, stay in this town that I'm at? Do I want to move here? Do I want to move here? But I really feel like Stockton is the best place to raise a kid. Honestly, I'm not even just saying that. Even with everything we go through, it's you get the best of both all worlds here. As far as the diversity, the rich eat with the poor in Stockton, and the middle class, and you're not too far from it. But it gives you a real taste of reality in Stockton.
Yeah, definitely. Let me go ahead and freestyle right here because I forgot to add this part in before we get it all in your coaching history and all in your background. I see you doing a lot of food reviews too, man. How you get started on that? Let me start it off with that real quick.
Yeah, no, my wife was just telling me about food reviews for like 6 months before I started. I think I did it the day after the Niners playoff game versus Green Bay of 2024. It was like January 24th, I think, or something like that, or January something. Whatever day they played. And then she was like, hey, I was like, what is it? She's been telling me for months. She's like, you just eat record yourself and eat and talk about the food. So never watched a food video review or nothing like that before then. And then I just started doing it, and it kind of took off before I even knew what analytics was or anything like that. It had like 500 sins, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. At the time, I didn't even know what it was until later on when I looked it up. It's just something I said I'm gonna be consistent with, and just like helping businesses too. I don't charge for when I do that, so it's about me just being a Stockton guy and just helping businesses out. I don't go to big franchises and do it, so it's about helping the community.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. It helps a lot of business out here, just sharing the food, and the way you be tearing that food up and make it look good. People be wanting to go try that. Like, man, I gotta go try that spot. I didn't even know about that spot. You giving us some spots that people may not know about. So definitely, I'm sure the businesses appreciate that. Definitely, you doing it free, and you get a lot of traction with that. I noticed that.
No, most definitely, man. I'm just glad I could help in any way possible, man. I'm just trying to uplift Stockton as much as possible, and that any business, because I have ventured outside of Stockton when I'm out of town or whatever, and try new spots. But it's just about helping the world, laying my imprint.
Definitely. Well, enough about the food, because I'm gonna get hungry. I'm always hungry. I eat a lot, so I'm always hungry. So I got to get through this interview without my stomach growling. So we're gonna get into this. When you were younger, were you involved in any sports? If so, what sports did you play?
I played everything from baseball, basketball, football. I literally did everything. Well, those three at least. I didn't play soccer. I didn't do anything like that. And I was involved with everything. Baseball was my best sport growing up. But as far as the demographics, it's not a lot of us out there. At the time, it wasn't. So I'm kind of drifted away from that and just focused on basketball and football. And football was just something that I wasn't the best at, but it just had my heart. So I just always stuck with football.
Oh, definitely football. Big in football. Okay. Were you any good? If so, did you have God-given skills, meaning were you a natural, or did your skills come from hard work? You know how we always tell our kids, players, hard work beats talent.
Yeah, I think that happened later on in my career. I was always good. I was always a really solid player. Could play every position when I was young, and it just kind of worked out in the sense of I was gifted, but I wasn't the most talented, if that makes sense. I was always the fifth, fourth, fifth, sixth best dude on the team, good enough to make the All-Star some year, maybe not, depending on whose dad was coaching, stuff like that, but
Daddy ball.
but I actually made it every year. I'm just talking, but yeah, no, I was good, man. But as far as people catch up and people are more gifted. So when I got to a certain level, people started separating themselves because they were more athletic, and I had to work that much harder to get where I needed to get.
Yeah, dope, nice. But there is a such thing as daddy ball, though.
100%. I don't do that. Yeah, I don't like daddy ball because and people need to be careful when they do that, man. I actually got an opportunity to coach my son, not this past season, but the season before. I helped out with the junior Rams, and I was helping with the defensive backs. And my son was right on the brink of starting, but because it was close with him and another kid, and I'm like, nah, bro, it's too close. You can't start. Just because it was I could have started him, maybe not. There was really right there. I'm like,
yeah,
nah, daddy ball, because my dad will rotate you in, man. But we don't do daddy ball because that doesn't teach any life lessons at all. It actually cripples your kids.
And I experienced that same thing coaching my son. I let him know from the jump, hey, I'm not picking you for all-stars and all that just because you're my son. If it's close, I'm going with somebody else. Mm-hmm. Even if I think you edged them out, just because I don't want to hear nothing about daddy ball. So you really gotta stand out. You really gotta stand out. So I've never been one of those daddy ball coaches. I didn't move up when my son moved up and all that stuff. So people do that. So just a thought on that. How was your high school career? And did you play any college? And if so, did you receive any offers?
Yeah, no. My high school career was different, right? It wasn't a perfect.
Where did you go?
My first 2 years, I went to Stagg, and then they opened up Chavez. And my next 2 years, I went to Chavez.
Okay.
But my freshman year, I played Pop Warner. I played for the junior Rams the first year. Second year they were there. I was there the first year, but I played Pop Warner my freshman year. It was one of those things that I struggled in the classroom. I'm like, I ain't about to make grades, so let me just go over here and play. My sophomore year, I was a sophomore on varsity at Stagg. My junior year, they opened up Chavez, and I transferred to Chavez and had to, sit out because I transferred, because I was supposed to do it the year before, but it was a weird thing with the CIF. Only played 3 games my junior year. My senior year, I did really well. I played the whole season, so I didn't have the perfect story. I only played my full season my sophomore year, 3 games my junior year, and my full season my senior year.
Did you attend any college?
Yeah, man, it was a journey with that too. Out of high school, I went to Butte Junior College. My first year, I redshirted when we won the national championship. Really good football team, probably the best football team I ever played on. The next year after that, I medical redshirted. I broke my fibula, my tibia, my ankle joint. Upon other reasons that were out of my control, I had to come back home to Stockton and went to Delta College, and I earned a scholarship to South Dakota. Earned a scholarship to Idaho State, and I was there for 2 years. And after Idaho State, as a grad transfer, I went to South Dakota School of Mines. So, my journey was never perfect. I just kept fighting and clawing, and but I did earn a scholarship to both those schools as far as Idaho State, and I got my degree from there. And I finished my last season playing at School of Mines.
That's dope, because you mentioned playing as a freshman. And Pop Warner, most Pop Warner, I know DYFL, they don't allow freshmen to play anymore. I played
growing up they used to, it was a lot of good players.
Yeah, I played for the Vikings as a freshman. I stayed down, played Pop Warner. So yeah, but kids can't experience that now. So you got to get the grades. You got to make.
There's a lot of people that did. I want to say. I mean, if I could be mistaken, but I even think my boy, a couple of people did it. I think Tremaine did it back then too, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
It was because they played for the Vikings. My boy Eddie Snow did. There was a couple of us that did that.
They stopped it probably about 10 years ago, maybe a little longer, 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So when and why did you decide to hang your cleats up?
I just didn't feel like playing no more. I was playing for this team. It's an indoor football league. The Colorado Ice was for one of those towns, wherever Colorado State is. I forgot the name of the town in Colorado. I was playing for the IFL, and then I was at practice one day, and then I wasn't in the IFL, but I was with the Billings Wolves. It was a team called the Billings Wolves, and I had a great practice. Like first day there, great practice, and it was. I had like 7 touchdowns, and then the next day we got to the room. Or the night I got to the room, woke up the next morning. I had a roommate. He went to Merced Junior College and somewhere else. He was from Florida. I forgot his name, but I was like, "Hey, bro, I'm done." He was like, "What you mean?" I was like, "I'm done. I don't feel like playing no more." And he was like, "Huh?" I was like, "Yeah, bro. I just don't. I'm done. Like, I'm not." He was like, "Bro, we got a game on Saturday. We about to travel to Washington and play." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not for me no more." I had a kid at the time. My son was about 1.5, going on 2, and it just wasn't for me at the time. I was done.
Lost the passion for it.
Yeah, well, I think that the thing that happened was just a year before I had just coached at Delta. So like I graduated, and then I got signed. I didn't get picked up by any NFL or CFL teams, so I knew the league was going to start. The IFL Indoor League was going to start in February, right? So I had just coached that off season from August to whatever at Delta, my first year ever coaching. So right when I got done with the season, I went out there to play ball, and I found the same love in coaching. Honestly, that's probably was if I wanted to keep playing, I probably shouldn't have coached, because that same passion and that same energy and that same I felt it in coaching, and it shows today. I'm still coaching, so that's probably what ended it, that, and just wanted to be grown too.
And it's crazy because that brings me to my next question. I know you're a head coach at Chavez. When did you start coaching, and what made you start coaching? I guess you kind of answered that. You want to go a little more into detail?
No, I got a call from my receiver coach when I played at Delta. His name was Frank Borba. He's now the OC at Merced Junior College, but he was a head coach at Redwoods at the time. He was like, "Hey man, I just got the job. I would love for you to come up here, and I gotta give you some money and got a stipend for you, and we got a little job for you lined up until you go back and play ball." So I interviewed with him. I got offered the job, but I also ended up interviewing with Coach Barlow at Delta. And, my son was out here. My wife was out here. So I'm like, I don't want to jump up and, I've already been gone the last 2 years. So let me just make sure I stay home. And that's how I got started with coaching. He called me and inquired. And I was like, I ain't doing nothing else. So I guess I could keep, coach and stay around the game and keep working out on the side. So I just did that at Delta.
Yeah. And what is it that you enjoy most about coaching?
Honestly, just helping. Honestly, when I help these young dudes and paying it forward because, you know, when they grasp something, they accomplish something. That's what I love the most, man, is really just helping them achieve what their, you know, goals are and whatever their desires are as far as on the field, and, you know, getting to know these young dudes, you know, through the process of football, their personality and sideline conversations and seeing what they really want to do. And it's just a whole full circle that I love coaching because, you know, even off the field stuff, that's dope as well because like you really get to know your players, and, you know, as you're getting to know them, you get to learn who they are, and it helps a lot, you know, as far as what they want to do, you know.
Yeah. So it's crazy you brought that up too, because I wanted to tell you too. So it's more than coaching to football to you, because you mentioned off the field. It's more of a life coach, being a life coach.
Yeah,
So,
no, 100%.
A mentor, life coach to these young men out here. So that's dope. We need more people like that. Some people just coach kids just to coach kids, but good coaches, they coach kids on life too, not just on the football field, but it's on and off the football field.
Yeah, and that's the biggest part. You know, the X's and O's are great. I'm good at that and all that stuff, and I'm passionate about coaching football. I love football, but having those real conversations and trying to change these dudes. Some people don't need changes. Some people just need, you know, to be around a brotherhood. Some people are fine. They don't need necessarily, you know, my mentorship. They might have a great father at home, but just to be a bonus, you know, big bro or bonus uncle, or bonus dad, whatever it is, just be there for them, you know.
But I know you do come into a lot that may need a father figure, you know, somebody to talk to, because pops might not be at home. They may feel or not feel comfortable talking to their dad if there was home. So you do also become a father figure, because I know that with my years of coaching, where I still get moms calling me, can you talk to little Nate, because little Nate listens to you and he don't want to listen to me. And I find that quite weird, but it's understanding. I'm like, man, how you listen to your mom? How you don't listen to your mama, but you'll listen to me?
Well, I think it's a psychology behind it, and that's good that these, you know, kids trust you. That means that, you know, that you are, before that you are a leader. I've seen what you've done in the relationships you cultivate with these young men, and you've been doing it for many years. So, you know, big shout out to you and what you're doing, you know, all these years serving your community. But, you know, it's the psychology behind it, man. It's like my kids are the most respectful kids on earth, but they're going to, you know, be comfortable around their parents because that is a safe place for them. So I kind of realized that a few years ago, that, you know, sometimes you might, you know, a kid might be frustrated and yell in the house, and you think they disrespecting you. Sometimes it's not always disrespect. You know, sometimes, you know, kids need that extra voice to really just hear a different voice from their parents. You get what I'm saying? Their parents is giving them this information, and they hear this voice all the time, and they might not have the best delivery. Parents might not have the best delivery. They might not have the best relationship, anything. So to hear it from a person that they respect and that, you know, they're comfortable with them, but at the same time, they ain't gonna cross that boundary with them, that line with them. It's just a different voice, man. There's a whole bunch of variables that go into that stuff, you know?
Now, do you believe in coaching every kid the same, or do you have understanding is every kid is different? So
every kid is different. Yeah, no, you can't. Now I'm gonna go in with how I do things because I'm me, but at the same time, I had to change that. When I was coaching at Stag once upon a time, I realized that I can't coach every kid the same. It was one kid that I'm like, every time I yell at him, he shuts down. Yeah, like he would just shut down. And I had the same situation at Kimball with another young man too. You can't just be a rah yell. Some kids they fired up. I was one of those coaches. Coach Duncan, Eric Duncan, would get on me. Yes, sir. Let's do it. I'm turned. You feel me? Some people just, hey, this is what I need you to do. This is the reason why, because you got to meet everybody where they at. You know, everybody's not the same. So I don't believe in coaching everybody the same. I stopped doing that kind of, you know, years ago, and it works better, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you got to have the same. You got to have the same standard though, for everybody across the board. This is what we're doing. This is the non-negotiable, and this is what it is. But you can't coach every kid the same.
Yeah, and some kids is hard. Like you said, Coach Duncan. You with Eric Duncan?
Yeah, OG Eric Duncan. That's my
I shout out to Coach Duncan. Been my folks for a long time. He used to be my barber back in the day. But I remember his brother Oscar. He was a hard coach.
I got coached by all the Duncans. I got coached by Eric.
Oscar used to make a lot of kids shut down. I'll be like, hey, coach, you can't just be yelling at him for any reason. Like Oscar would yell and yell and yell, and they would really shut down on him. And I really had to pull him to the side, like, coach. And I was coaching too. Like, I yell too. I yell probably more than him, but you got to know, the kids got to know it's coming from the right place, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of kids complain to me. I had a nephew that played for Oscar, and he was like, "Oh man, I can't deal with this coach." And I was like, just deal with it. I had to talk to Oscar myself. But shout out to Oscar. I love Oscar too, though.
Yeah, me too. Shout out to Unc.
All right. So how do you feel your coaching career has been, and what's your biggest accomplishment thus far?
I think my coaching career has been great. I've been able to serve many different kids at many different schools, from Delta to Chavez to McNair. Where else? Kimball, Stagg. Oh yeah, Stagg. Like, so I've been able to touch like different, walks of kids and different, schools and kids from out of the state, and I think it's been great. Biggest accomplishment, changing lives. I mean, we could talk about the wins and all that stuff. As far as going to the playoffs every year and stuff like that. As far as being a head coach. But I think, hearing stories, success stories, I got a lot of those, man. One of my best things is one of my kids that I coached for my first year. I remember he was like, man, kind of venting to me, like, coach, I want to keep playing ball. I don't know, but I also want to go to school to be a doctor. And now he's a doctor at St. Joe's emergency medicine room.
Nice.
Graduated from University of Miami, but it was like at that, like, should I go be the doctor or should I keep playing ball right now? I'm like, man, go be a doctor, bro. Like, nobody care. Being worried about football like that, go be a doctor. Those are the kind of stories I love.
Yeah, dope. Definitely. I love those stories too. And I'm proud of what you're doing over there at Chavez. I see you had a 10-0 championship season last year. So congratulations to you too. But I want to still a little of that credit, man. Most of them boys, they had Coach Davis. They won their first Super Bowls with Coach Davis, man.
Hey, look, man, it's the reason why they so good. Come on,
yeah, now. I know, right? I had to put my Soldier Boy in there. I was the first.
Come on.
But no, McConnell, Barlow, I think you coach Easter. Like a lot of those they've been Titans for life.
Yeah, no, all of them was. I think that
Piglet,
Big Baby,
Big Baby,
Barnett,
Barnett,
Barlow, yeah. All those those kids you just named, they never left the program. And so, I think that's a bigger story for them to, just buy in and not knowing what's going to happen next. And to, go from 0-10 to 10, 2 years later, 10-0. And, you were in a situation. I'm glad none of them transferred. A lot of people would have transferred before the coach hired. So,
and they can always say they played for two of the best coaches in the city.
Come on. So talk to them.
Come on, man. Talk to them. They don't hear us though. But so what are some goals that you haven't accomplished yet that you would like to accomplish?
Winning a section championship. That's a big one. As far as high school, winning a section championship, and then really that's about it. Sending multiple kids to college in 1 year. I've done that before. We sent two guys college in 1 year and some junior college guys, but no, like as far as universities, but I want, get to a point where, we get everything in order and we're sending 5 to 6 guys a year. It doesn't matter what division 1, 2, 3, NAIA, but just, multiple guys with scholarship opportunities. That'd be a great goal as well. And then just, kids going to the Army too. Like I'd be dope. I'd be hella happy when my players go to the armed forces. Like that's a cheat code.
I don't tell kids to go to the Army.
I tell them to go, hey, man, look, find out, look into it. It's a cheat code.
If it's for them. Yeah, if it's for them.
But I'm just saying, like, if you don't have no desire to go to college, you don't have no desire to work in the work field, right? You just want to be around. Okay, well, let's get a head start. Go to the armed forces. You know why? Because you spend 4 years in the Army or the Navy or any kind of military branch. They're going to pay you every month. They're going to give you housing. And then when you're done with it, oh, my back hurts. You're going to get $3,700 to $4,500 a month for just being in that. And they pay for college, a GI Bill. So you spend 8 years. You still young. You 26 years old. So you get 2 GI Bills. You can use that for yourself and your kids, or if you want to stay in there, whatever you want to do, but you're going to get money for the rest of your life for doing nothing.
You're going to be set. You're definitely going to be set.
Yeah, and then it's easier when it comes to VA loans for housing and your cars and all that. It's a cheat code. So I think we need to encourage, especially people of color, to do that.
Yeah, you got a point.
But then look, it's better than sitting around here doing nothing, working at a warehouse.
Yeah,
You
but
know, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not knocking that because I did my fair share of warehouse work too. But I'm saying like we could get ahead as a people. You feel me? As
no, I totally understand what you mean by that. Do you think how much is your confidence level up that you think you could win a section title?
I know we're gonna win one. It's not even about that. It's just when it's gonna happen. It's not even about it's just gonna happen. It's the truth. It's not even about confidence. It's God written.
Okay, that's hey, destiny. You can't change destiny.
God's plan.
You know, you can't change destiny. All right, let me put you on the hot seat real quick.
Come on, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Real quick.
It's the questions I need, Mac. No,
give us the 3 best players that you have coached.
3 best players I coached. Are we talking about just coaching as far as like my actual teams or training? Because I was a trainer for many.
No, not training. Coach,
okay,
coaching football. And let's keep it high school. I know you said you coached Delta. Let's keep it on the high school level.
At high school level, Darion Graham was a Parade All-American, called for 1,900 yards. He was an animal.
Darion, he was dope.
Darion Graham was an animal. I'm not gonna mention none of my players yet that were playing. Well, I'm gonna mention Joel Donnell. He's one of the best players I coached. He was my running back from this past season.
Okay.
Yeah, he was really, really good at the running back position. Also, man, I got a couple good. Yeah, sheesh. Even I got a couple good guys. Travis.
Give us 2 more. Give us 2 more.
Travis Mariero, coach at Kimball, was a 2-way player, receiver. He got a full ride scholarship to University of, College of Idaho. The youth went down to the semifinals of the NCAA, playoffs. It was a game away. Our quarterback from this year, Elijah Walker, is probably the best high school quarterback I coached. Jackson Batch, the receiver I got right now, is one of the most talented receivers I got as well.
Jackson doing his thing like that?
An animal, dog.
I got to coach him at the All-Stars. I think it was last year in football at DYFL. I got to coach him back at the All-Stars. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He had talent back then. He had the size.
Yeah, another receiver that played with Darion Sean. He had a full ride scholarship to Sac State back then. So
Sean who?
What's his last name? Was it Not Hamilton? Yeah, it was Hamilton. Sean Hamilton.
Sean Hamilton. Okay.
I believe so. Yeah, but he got a full. He was an animal. They both called for over 1,000 yards. So, Hassani Zachary, Jay Sean Allen.
Hassani,
yeah, I coached him.
That's the one that he went to Edison, wasn't he?
Started off at Stag though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, little Hassani. I forgot all about it. Little Hassani.
Yeah. Hassani, I got to coach him in high school and then also trained him even when he left Stag. So. I coached a lot of good high school players, man, like a lot. You see, I can't, but the best who never was, like he didn't get an opportunity after high school was this kid named Jay Sean Allen when I was at Chavez. It was a dog, and he was
Jay Sean Allen.
Yeah. No, I've coached some dogs. I'm not gonna
I never heard of him. But shout out to him though. All right, so let me ask you this: if you can coach one athlete that you haven't coached from all of the Stockton athletes in the last, let's say, 10 years, who would it be and why?
I would say my nephew Kenyon Nelson. I would have loved to coach my nephew Kenyon Nelson. He was a really talented quarterback, played varsity since his freshman year. He's a dog animal. I wish he would have had somebody more so that knew his style of play and really pushed him to his greatness. Because he could have, sky's was the limit. He's about to go to Greenville University now. But I just wish I could have had him for, even if it was just 1 year in high school, 2 years, like junior, senior year. But if I had him all 4 years and just, helping him be a better, suit him to a better style of his game, I would have loved to coach him at all of them.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. That's a little cutty, man, for sure. All right, next question. What high school this year are you most concerned about giving you the toughest battle?
Nobody. We only worry about ourselves. I mean, the only school we could really worry about is, is St. Mary's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we talk, actually, let me not say that. We worried about ourselves, but we do got some competitive games this year. The first 3 games, and our league is our league, but teams are getting better because they want to be better than us. So kids are lifting harder, they're working harder at these other schools, and they're getting better at a lot of different things. But our first game is Franklin Elk Grove, a team that they get back. We beat them last year, a week after they beat Edison at Edison. So they were on a high, and we came in here and humbled them real quick. Week
Definitely.
2, we got Escalon after that. Escalon is a state championship program, was really tough and really gritty. We beat them this year.
They got them corn-fed white boys over there too, man.
They got some big
Escalon always.
Yeah, they got tradition. That's the biggest thing is tradition. The reason why St. Mary's is so great because they've had the same stability of coaches for the last 20 years, and they got their brand of tradition. They're the Ram pride and all that. And then after that, week 3, we got Manteca. So I think Manteca's gonna be our toughest opponent.
They got what you call it over there, Manteca, the running back. What's his
Nico,
name?
nephew
Yeah,
Nico.
Nico. Shout out to Nico. Yeah.
So it's I don't want to make it seem like we're worried about ourselves, but we do got some tough competition this year, and we're well aware of that.
Yeah, definitely. So I know Eric Crocker. Shout out to Eric Crocker. I got the on the first one. I know that's your boy. How bad did you want that game against Stag last year, man? Since y'all, is it y'all homies and stuff? So, bragging rights issue. And you came in there and you blew. You put them in the dirt and picked them back up and then put them back in the dirt like that, man. So was that something you circled on your calendar? Because it's your bro.
No, honestly, I don't like playing against my friends. My cousin with Jabari Carr, he was the head coach at Mountain House. He just resigned recently, but he was like, "Oh, let's get on the schedule." I'm like, I don't want to play my folks. Like, I don't like playing my folks. It's just because when I coach differently. Like, I put a lot of preparation into this, put a lot of hours into this. I'm really, I know sometimes you see the cheat meal Sundays and all that kind of stuff, but I'm a different animal when it comes to coaching as far as preparation. That doesn't guarantee victory, but I'm outwork everybody I go against. Even if they do come out on top, ain't nobody going to outwork me. So I say that to say, like, I didn't want to play against my friend and, something like that. But, hey, it doesn't matter if he was a coach or not. It was a rival game. That rivalry started because I went to Stag and transferred. It was deeper than, Coach Croc being over there. Like,
it's business.
It was intense. Yeah. So, it had nothing to do with him being over there. It's Stag. So whoever the coach is this year is too, I'm going to prepare just as hard.
And that's what I tell my players. Anytime I face one of my old teams, I let them know, man, don't get in here playing, man. We want to blow them out. I only lost to one of my old teams ever. I don't want to lose to my old team that I was at. I want to make them pay for not doing me right.
Yeah, no, but for me,
it's personal. I tell them it's personal.
Every game is the same for me. I'm going to approach it very hard, but rivalry week, regardless, Stag is a rivalry for Chavez in every sport. So it literally split the district. When Chavez got built, everybody that was a freshman at Chavez, everybody that was a sophomore at Chavez as a sophomore, they started off at Stag and they moved everybody over there. So, like, it's a real rivalry. So it don't matter who the coach is. I'm going to do my best every week, but that week is just a little more adrenaline.
Now, you mentioned, it's taking a lot of time. You put a lot of time in preparing. That's what people don't understand about coaching. We just don't go out there to practice 2 hours. It's more than that. Definitely with you having a family, a wife, and kids, does that ever cause any issues or anything? Because I used to spend hours in the garage. I got my black. Back then, I used to puff my puff. And my girl would be like, dang, you ain't spending no time with me. I'm game planning. I'm strategizing. I'm spending 2 or 3 hours to myself going over stuff. Did that ever affect the family time?
No, I would say not at all. Honestly, I have a great wife who's very supportive. Like, she's honestly a blessing to me. And I had to learn how to spend quality time, because you could be in the house all you want, but if you don't know how to spend quality time, it don't mean nothing. That's a part of the 5 love languages. It's a book out there. And I read that book, and it just helped me become a better husband, a better father, because it's different things that people need. So
what book is that? I need that book.
The 5 love languages.
I need that book, man. I'm gonna look for that book because I need to do better.
Yeah, the 5 love languages, man. And so, because I could be in the house, but if I'm just here present watching TV, that's not really spending time. I'm just in the house. So I've gotten better on my end at spending quality time, But no, even when I wasn't spending quality time, she's always been supportive. I say, I got to do this film. She's going to, get whatever I need to get done, and she's going to be 100% supportive. So I was really blessed that God put her in my life.
Yeah, she's a part of the team. Definitely, definitely. Let me see it to this next question. What are some of the things that you do to motivate your players to have them prepare for a game?
Oh man, talk crazy to them. Nah, but just be consistent with them, man, and learning your team. Because some teams don't need the rah rah speech. Some teams need a visual. Some teams need, the truth. So every team I've coached has been different. This team was more so like, this past year, giving them a real talk with a little bit of motivation behind it. This team could, hey, and it helps that when you're consistent with your approach, right? I watched so much film. I remember last year, we played against my first year, not this past season, my first year, we were playing against Franklin. I was telling our old line, I said, hey, their D line is going to kick our butts. Like their D line is going to kick our butts. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be, first half might be, 14-7 or 7-7, but they're going to get it because y'all ain't taking this serious. I'm going to tell you, winning the halftime was 14-7 or 14-8. It was 14-8, and then it was like, hey, and then I said, hey, second half, you guys are going to realize you're going to wake up and we're going to blow them out. So those kind of that happened. And that happened all the time. I told, we played against Rodriguez. I said, hey, we're running this play right now. It's going to be to win the game or, a critical moment. A trick play that we ran ended up being to tie it up. So when you have, and it happened like that all season, I'm like, hey, this is going to happen this game. This is going to happen because we're not as suitable right here in this position or this position. So when you have that message and that approach and you have a team who's around and, that listens to you. So when you do it the next year, like, hey, if we don't do this, this is going to happen. So you get what I'm saying? So it helps when you have you are the message you deliver and they start to listen, they believe you and you're actually accurate on what your approach is and what you're doing. So that helps.
They got to buy into it too.
100%.
Since you mentioned that trick play, I have been watching some of your stuff. I have been seeing some trick plays in your arsenal now. I have been seeing that, man. You're talking to the king of trick plays, right?
Yeah, you know what? I need to get something from you because the ones that I posted was the only ones I ever ran.
Yeah, you're talking to the king of trick plays. Let me.
Yeah, I really don't do a lot of trick plays, man. You got to show me some because I normally just like, hey, bro, we just gonna handle business and it's a short week of practice, so we just try to handle business and get to it as fast as possible.
And see that, and that's where my disappointment be when I be going to some of these high school games is the play calling. Like nobody runs counters. Nobody runs, huh?
So all we run is counters. Running counter-powered duo.
Well, I don't think I've been. I think I might have been to one of y'all games. I ain't been to too many of y'all games.
You got to support, Matt. Come on, man.
Yeah, I gotta come. I gotta come through and support, man. I should have a Titans lifer thing. For all my years I put up at the Titans, the junior Titans. Shoot. No, I should have a lifer, Titan lifer, because I'm a Titan at heart, man. Definitely. Definitely a Titan at heart. But yeah, I don't see a lot of stuff, and I'll be like, man, people don't run counters, people don't run no trick plays, they don't hit the tight ends. Like it's so much that's like, man, boy, if I get up there high school, I'm gonna tear it up. I'm gonna be a prime. It's showtime,
Yeah, come on.
Y'all ain't gave me my chance yet.
Mac, I told you to come to the school 2 times. You didn't come. You didn't pull up. I told you to come to the school.
You told me to be
I showed you the text message those times too.
I'm not a positional coach.
Mac, I told you to pull up, and we was gonna talk about it, and you never pulled up.
No, it was late though. You already had your offensive coordinators and your head coaches.
I didn't have a coordinator.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
That I had a head coach. I told you. Text messages.
All right. Well, hey, I'm still out there because Eric Croc didn't take me up at Edison, man. I went over there for that, but maybe I need to start from. I don't want to start from the bottom. Like I want to be a.
Well, why not? Why not? Why don't you want to start with a position group or feel like you're above that?
Because I do. That's not my stamp. My specialty. My specialty is I know a lot. I know a lot, even though it might be at a lower level.
No, for sure. It don't matter about the level.
Football is football. To me, football is football. And I feel like, I didn't prove. I thought I'd improve myself, but it's all right. My opportunity is gonna come, and I'm gonna enjoy it when it does come. I ain't in a rush, and I never been in a rush though because of the fact that I like to get the kids before they already set in their ways. That's why I always like to help kids get on the right track.
Develop their ways, yeah.
Develop their ways. Mm-hmm. It's hard coaching and mentoring somebody 15, 16, they already on this wrong path or whatever path they're on. It's hard taking them off that path. Now, I like to be there to help lead them to the right path so they don't go on the wrong path. And that's why I always stuck to coaching youth football. But now I do want to, these last few years, I've been saying it's time to move on and move to high school. And somebody did give me opportunity. I messed up myself. Coach Booker, shout out to Coach Booker. He did give me the freshman head coach a few years ago, and some stuff happened. I don't need to say, and it was my fault. So I could say that. So sometimes if people know about you and the city talking about you, they will extend the olive branch to you. So you don't always got to start from the bottom.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do. So maybe I need to get off my high horse. I guess you would say. But you sound like a coach that be on your high horse too.
No, I mean, this is going on year 12 for me. Coaching, and I was a position coach for many moons. I was a receiver coach my first year at Delta. I did 1 year at Delta. I was a receiver coach at McNair. I was a receiver coach at Chavez. I was a receiver coach at Stagg. I was a receiver coach when I went back to Delta, and then somebody asked me to be the offensive coordinator because I had a total of 5 years at Delta, or 4 years at Delta total. And they said, hey, we're losing our head coach, our old coordinator. We need an old coordinator. Would you like an opportunity at Kimball? I said, yeah. I took an opportunity to be an old coordinator, not even, just to call plays, and then ended up being a head coach because they said, hey, we actually need a head coach. The person that we were going to ask, it didn't, but I got over there. I was in the room to do it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, and it's easier when you came from that. Like, when my first year coaching, like, I was just trying to volunteer to help out. They said, hey, can you be a head coach? And I was like, oh, man, I'm doing my music at the time. I really didn't have time for it, but I made a commitment to do it. So ever since then, I would be head coach. And then if I would change programs, I've been to like four teams. Either if I'm coming over, it was already stated, either I'm a head coach or I'm offensive coordinator. And I always had it that way. I never been nothing else. Either I've been head coach or I've been offensive coordinator. I never been a position coach. I never coached defense. I never did nothing but that. So that's kind of like what I expect. Like when I went into the Yellow Jackets in 2021, I told it was kind of late too. And I told the coach, the head coach, first year head coach, I said, man, the only thing I require is I'll call the plays and you don't step on my toes. And we had a deal. We went undefeated, won the Super Bowl. So stuff works out for reasons, sometimes.
No, yeah.
But yeah, if I would have started off at that, I think I would have been more reluctant to doing that, to grinding on that. But but let's get back into these questions though, man. One day I'm gonna see y'all in high school. One day, whether I'm with you or against you, I'm gonna be there, man.
Come on, I know it.
Hey, you rather be a friend than an enemy.
Oh, you can never be my enemy, Mac. You my guy.
I know. I'm talking, but hey, when we on that field, we ain't friends until that last.
When that day happen, Mac, I'm gonna tear your ass up. Just
to that last whistle blow. I'm competitive. Let's see. Okay, so how do you? Oh, yeah, this is one of the last questions, and then I got something we're gonna get into. How do you feel about kids reclassifying for athletic purposes?
I'm perfectly fine with it. I did it with my son. He's getting held back right now. I don't think it's no problem with it. I think that is actually smart. Whoever the kid is, if it levels out, and nowhere ever have they ever said, "Hey, you're going to get worse if you hold yourself back. You're going to get worse. You're going to get worse for taking a year for your body to develop." I actually got a story where, Kenny Moore, right? Kenny Moore was a holdback, right?
He's been held back a couple of times, I think.
I don't know about that. I just know he got back once. I can't speak on that. That's my folks. That's my nephew. Love him to death. Love his pops. Love his family to death. But just for example, right? It was Kenny Moore's film, and it was a player that I know's film. I'm like, okay, hey, this player, Kenny was a freshman, and this player I had was a junior. I asked the coach at University of Washington. I said, hey, man, their films are very similar. Why aren't you offering this guy? He said, because that kid's a freshman. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, that's good. He was like, so, and you got to think he would have been a sophomore, but it was like, he's a freshman doing that, right? So now you fast forward it, you look at his body type, your body's going to get better. So imagine you would have been a freshman. Now your body type looks better, everything. So a freshman in college. So when you're a junior and a senior, you're supposed to be a senior. So when these college coaches are looking at you, they have something called the eye test. Your body's going to develop an extra year. It's going to look different when you're older. Your metabolism is different. Your muscles grow different. So it's not a bad thing. I don't think, I see this ongoing debate in one of the sports groups I'm in. It's, oh, man, it's like, why are we arguing about it? Like, do what you got to do with your kids. And, at the end of the day, it's not going to hurt anybody.
But let's be real. It's different from back in the days from when we grew up. It was an honor for freshmen to come in, true freshmen to come in and play varsity. You don't really get as much as that like you did back in the days. True freshmen come in, be freshmen, and go straight to varsity without being held back or none of that. That used to be more common than now. But I see a lot of people are doing that, pulling freshmen up to varsity, so maybe sophomores up to varsity.
Well, we just look at it, just, some of the kids that I do know who did a reclass year, like a lot of those dudes, they're getting opportunities and scholarships. And, even if they didn't get held back right there every year, if they got held back before that, they're getting, and it doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to get anything. It doesn't guarantee anything, but it doesn't hurt your chances,
Yeah.
The body type is going to be more developed when the coaches come through.
So do you think holding the kid back at a younger age, I think you should do it? Because I remember after we won our Super Bowl, I coached a player, D'Lo Tubbs.
I had him when I was at Langston Hughes, and I was a behavioral counselor over there. I used to see him a lot, him and his brother.
We wanted to hold him back for his 8th grade. And he fit all the requirements because his birthday is late. It's after the season over. Don't you know they had an emergency meeting and they said no, if he held back as an 8th grader, we still won't let him play. And I was like, that's kind of unfair. Probably because
that's a DYFL thing.
Like, they were scared of him though. If it was anybody else, they wouldn't have done that because D'Lo was terrorizing stuff.
Yeah, he should have just moved him to a different program or organization.
Yeah. But yeah, that was one of the best kids I coached. All right, so we almost approached an hour. All right, we right on time with this. So I want to get into this game I like to play on here. It's called Either Or, and we're gonna take it from the standpoint of like first round draft pick of a high school team you coaching.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you 2 names. You're gonna tell me which one you picking, and give me a little short explanation as to why.
Okay, for sure.
You ready? Now you back in the hot seat. We're gonna start off hot. Right?
Come on, let's do it.
Lavelle Hawkins or Brandon Cooks? Who you
Brandon
got
Cooks.
And why?
Brandon Cooks, because Brandon Cooks is 100% dedicated to his craft. I'm not saying the other person wasn't, but 100% dedicated to his craft. Eats, sleeps, and breathes football. Just wants to be the best at what he does, and will work out at 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning, and is a leader on and off the field, and leads by example.
So we built, and now mind you, we're building a high school team. Who
Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks. You asked me my answer. I gave you the answer. Bro.
All right. Very confirmed about that. Hold on. All right, next one. Hopefully you know your history too, because I got a couple older.
I know my history unless it's like way before me. Anything 99 and up, I'm good.
No, it's some of them a little before you that you should.
Let's go. I probably know some of them.
All right, you should know these 2. Lewis Rankin or Raleigh Brown? Who you got and why?
Woo! Ooh, that's a good one. Lewis Rankin or Raleigh Brown? I'm gonna take Raleigh.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Raleigh.
I was finna cut you off.
I'm gonna take Raleigh.
Raleigh?
And
why?
Lewis Rankin is one of the best players ever come out of this area.
A monster.
But I'm gonna take Raleigh just because he was more of a dual threat kind of player. And obviously, Lewis did really good at University of Washington, so we can't knock that. He ended up playing in the NFL, but he was in a system. He was in the wing T system, So Raleigh is a guy who ran for 1,000 and caught for 800 as a freshman, and had great performances when he was at Edison versus in the playoffs leading up to versus Folsom. When they went to Mater Dei, a situation to push himself, and was playing at the top school in the country for 2 years and ran for 1,000 yards and dominated, and played against Duncanville at a high level competition and dominated. Went to USC as a freshman, ran for 500, and then had some injuries, redshirted the next year, had an injury the next year, and just got off versus, versus this year at Arizona State. So I would pick Raleigh just because, how the game is played now. I know he could play receiver. I know he could play slot. I know he could play running back. He could do it all.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you. I'm with you when you're right. I'm with you when you're right.
You
was right on. You was right with Cooks too. I don't know. That's still I don't know who I would do with that first one, but it wouldn't have been as easy as you made it, that first one. But all right, let's get to the next one. Jonah Coleman or Lionel Hamilton? Who you got and why?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Jonah Coleman. And I was a big fan of Lionel Hamilton growing up. I know exactly who he is. We actually related. We got cousins of a cousin, and grew up, watching him a lot. It was a monster, an animal. If he didn't have that hip pointer injury, he would have did a lot more damage his senior year. But I'm gonna pick Jonah because I got to coach Jonah in 7-on-7 and train him a few times, and I know how much he loves football. I can't speak for that for Lionel. I know he went off to the NFL and did great things and did great at San Diego State University, but I know personally how much Jonah loves football. You get what I'm saying? So I want somebody who loves football, like eats, sleeps, and breathes football. I can't speak for Lionel because he's older than me. I wasn't around him, but I know that kid, and he was really good, and obviously he proved himself at the high level at Arizona University and University of Washington. I most definitely will pick Jonah because I know he eats, sleeps, and breathes football.
I'm with you on that. Jonah, my little cousin. But Lionel, he
was a dog.
I think he would have Marshall Faulk's freshman record. I think he got hurt. So he was close to beating the record if he didn't breathe.
He still went off to the NFL.
NFL won the Super Bowl. Yeah. So definitely shout out to both of them.
Number 22. Come on.
We definitely gonna hear Jonah Coleman's name called in this next draft though coming up. Definitely. All right. Hopefully, I know you know one of these. Hopefully, if you know Lionel, you should know this one. We're going with Chris Henry or Tyrone Gross. Who you got?
Tyrone Gross. What? That's not even a question. It's not even a question.
Tyrone didn't make it to the NFL. Chris Henry did. Second round.
Yeah, I'm just going off of what I seen growing up, right? Okay. And we're going off. He got picked off the second round. And he did good in NFL. Don't get it twisted. But he was a specimen. He was 6'4", running the 4.3.
Yeah.
He was freak of nature. He didn't have a lot of production in college, right? But he did have some, he didn't have a lot of, I don't think he started, I don't think he started most of his games his senior year, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he didn't start until his senior year. In the NFL, he did have better, I think he had a better NFL career than college.
In college, you're right. I'm with you when you're right. Yeah, he did.
They're drafting a specimen. Where if we're going off of just high school and college, Tyrone Gross is a dog, an animal. Yeah. He is a reason the Stockton School won the first section championship. Not solely because that was a really talented team, but off of his effort and his, everything he did. He dominated at Sac State, and then he dominated when he left Sac State. He went to
Eastern Michigan.
Eastern Oregon.
Eastern Oregon, yeah.
I know my football, man. So, no, for sure, 100% Tyrone Gross. And he had a devastating injury that sidelined him in the NFL. So, he did make it to the NFL.
Yeah, he did. He did. He San Diego Chargers. He did.
Yeah, he got injured. Come on, man. I know my stuff.
He did. You talking that talk, youngster. All right, let's get to this next one. It's kind of older.
Look, I was born today, but not yesterday. Come on now.
Well, I was born that night, but not last night.
Not last night.
Hey, this one kind of older but younger thing. But I know you know both of these guys, though. Even the older one because I see you work with him. You going with Lateef Grimm or Tremaine Johnson?
High school team?
Yeah, you building first pick.
Yeah, Tremaine Johnson. And much respect to Lateef Grimm. Lateef Grimm was a hell of a player and really, when after I signed my scholarship to Idaho State, I started working with him when he was at Brookside Christian. Hell of a coach. Really, really good receiver coach, and was really good as far as respected in the game of college football. Didn't get a chance to see him in high school, but I watched a lot of his college stuff. He was a Big East Big East receiver. Pittsburgh University.
Pittsburgh.
He spent 2 years in the NFL. But I'm gonna start with Tremaine. I'm gonna go with Tremaine Johnson because he was a better all-around athlete. You could put Tremaine at quarterback, receiver, cornerback. He dominated at University of Montana, played a little bit of offense, but after that, he ended up going to the NFL and probably making over 80 million with all these franchise tags. He led the league he got snubbed. He led the league in interceptions when he had 7 and didn't get the Pro Bowl. You know, and
he got that big check though.
Yeah, no, most
got that
definitely. He got
big deal,
paid,
though.
100%. He did his thing. He was locking up guys like Calvin Johnson. You can look it up on YouTube. He was a hell of a player. So I'm most definitely gonna go with Calvin Johnson.
Locking up.
And
There's no such thing as locking up Calvin Johnson.
He did. He picked him off, man. He was in cover 3. He read it and he picked it off. What are you talking about, man? What is
locking up in cover
he was
3?
A dog. Yeah, cover 3 zone turns into man after a certain yard point. Yeah, it turns.
So
into
it
man.
didn't start off as man. Come on, I'm gonna play Deion Sanders. I'm gonna be the Deion Sanders on you, like, man, you ain't followed the main guy.
That's cool, but look,
I followed the main guy.
But look, at the end of the day, he led the league in interceptions. He was
did.
an all-state point guard for Edison High School basketball. So when we talk about those things, he averaged, I want to say, 18 a game. So he was a better athlete. I'm going with Tremaine.
Definitely. All right, we got a couple more. All right, these ones a little before your time, but you should know the history. You going with Frank Strong or Marcus Fields?
I'm just gonna go with Marcus Fields. You know, I was a stat guy my first 2 years, so I know everything that they said, and I know him personally. He's a great man, great person. You know, he ran for 2,000 yards.
Yeah, I think so.
No, I think Lance Martin was the first person in a long time. Maybe he ran for 2002, but he ended up going to Cal and doing really good. But I'm gonna go with Frank Strong just because I hear so much legendary stories. And when he went to USC, he ended up playing both. He was like one of the first dudes to start at running back his freshman year, and then the next year start at linebacker. You know, so he was. And just from what I hear, I never got a chance to see neither one of those guys play, but just the legendary status of it, and then what they did in college, I'm gonna go with Frank Strong.
Man, when I tell you that game, he was on St. Mary. Frank Strong was on St. Mary that year. St. Mary's versus Stagg. When I tell you it was a back and forth, Frank Strong, Marcus Fields, but St. Mary's also had a white dude fullback named Ryan Mariota or something like that. It was Frank and him versus Fields. And I believe that was the game Fields set the record with like 400 and some rushing yards. And then Johnny Randall out of Bear Creek came and beat that. That may be still the record. Johnny Randall.
Randall was a Terrell Davis or Terrence Davis or something like that?
No, Johnny Randall.
Okay, gotcha.
Terrence played more of receiver and running back. Terrence played a little everything.
He was a track guy, right?
Yeah, Terrence was a track guy. Johnny Randall.
Right. Yeah, he did. He created Johnny Randall did get a state record because I remember being in Bear Creek's weight room, and that stuck with me when I was young. And he had ran for like 400 and something yards, something crazy.
Something, yeah. I think 423. Fields had like 414. Johnny Randall beat it like a week or two later with 423 or something. Yeah, I remember watching those games, man. Definitely. All right, so you said Frank on that? Yeah. Frank was just a monster though.
Yeah.
Fields was just a high run. He was the guy that ran too high, but you couldn't stop him. All right, the last one I got for you. And you just mentioned him, so you're probably gonna go with him. But the other guy's a beast too. Tim Brown or Lance Martin Sr.?
I'm gonna go with Tim Brown. Just because, I grew up watching Tim Brown, man. He was the first. My grandma still lives in Moorfield to this day. Tim and them would live right around the corner, so I spent a lot of time just watching Tim at the park at Taft Park. Was a great player. Lance Martin, I got to watch him play a little bit, and he was a downhill runner, ran for 2,000, did really good. But as far as somebody I watched growing up and I wanted to mimic my game after with a human joystick, I'm gonna go with Tim Brown, 100%. He was a dog, and he did really, really good for Fred Franklin wearing number 99.
Yeah, Lance may have that 2,000 yard season.
Yeah, Tim did it by himself though. Tim did it like with nobody on his team.
And Tim did it in Pop Warner. The high school. Tim was a man for a long time. A lot of people didn't know about Lance.
Even after Lance was a dog, right? And he went on to San Jose State and did, I think he did cool. He saw 4 years. I don't know if he had as far as a career that he had hoped for. Maybe I don't remember. I just know what I watched back then.
They say no, it wasn't what he hoped for.
I ended up getting moved to fullback, maybe towards so he could get on the field a little more, if I'm not mistaken. But Tim was a guy who dominated at Frisco City and went to Temple and has really good film.
Yeah, definitely.
And then he's the all-time leading returner in the CFL.
Definitely. All right. So with that we're gonna wrap this up. I need your Stockton Mount Rushmore. You got 4 heads.
4 heads.
Football. Stockton, Mount Rushmore, as far as what you know in your history of knowing. We see how much history you know right here. This is the telltale sign of.
Okay, I'm gonna go Webster Slaughter,
Okay.
Derek Kennard.
You going OGs, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
Webster Slaughter, Derek Kennard. Damn. You got me in the hot seat right here. This is the hardest question you asked. Those two for sure.
Those are the legends. Those are the pioneers of it.
I'm gonna go Keith Williams.
Keith Williams?
Yeah, Keith Williams. He's a receiver coach at the Saints right now.
Oh, okay.
Coach, he's coached guys like Devontae Adams. He was his receiver coach at college. Jalen Saunders, another Stockton.
On more of the coaching level than the playing.
You just said Stockton coach.
Okay, yeah. No, Croc did the same thing.
He played football. He played it, Tokay.
No, Croc, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Diego State University. I'm gonna go Keith Williams.
Because Croc put Coach Washington from Edison back in the day, Charles Washington up there. So I
Coach Washington.
See, I helped you out with the last
one.
Yep,
you helped me out with that one.
You got all those OGs in there, man. You didn't make it too hard.
You said Stockton. Also who I want to put in there. I'm also want to put in my honorary one. I'm gonna put in there. I'm gonna go with those four.
All right, for sure. Don't make nobody mad. Don't make nobody else mad. You put honorary one in there, like, oh, you could have named me. You know,
those are guys who paved the way, though. That's why I put them. Those are guys who paved the way, and those are guys who did it before us, and doing it at a different level right now. For like a Keith Williams, he's doing it at a different level and creating opportunities for other young coaches, for the next generation of coaches. You get what I'm saying? So, and Coach Washington did it for many moons, and I love Coach Washington from the time I got to meet him, and those other guys, Derek Kennard, Webster Slaughter, everybody, when I used to talk to Grim, I'm like, man, why all the Stockton? Why we care so much about playing receiver and doing this, and where we get our swag from? He was like, man, Webster Slaughter.
He grew up right around the corner from my grandma, from my family, Webster Slaughter, and I was a Webster Slaughter fan before I knew he was from Stockton.
Yeah, look, I think my dad just said Mo Hill, JD Hill from Arizona State too.
Oh, JD Hill, yeah.
Yeah, I met him when I go up to Arizona State. He's a real good guy. And
Mike Merriweather, Mike Merriweather, yeah.
Steelers?
Huh? Vikings.
Is he from Stockton?
Yeah.
Linebacker?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's from Stockton. I think he just lived out here. I don't think he's from Stockton.
I think he's from Stockton, man.
No, because his son went to school with me. His stepson. I don't think he's from Stockton. I looked it up.
Maybe not originally. But
no, I just think he just ended up moving out here. I don't think he ain't from the city.
Oh, okay.
But no, that was my four guys.
That was dope. All right, so before we get out here, any shout outs, and also let us know where the people can follow you at. Any shout outs to anybody you want to give?
Shout out to the Chavez Lifers, right? Shout out to my family. Shout out to my wife, my kids, my mom, and my dad on here, and
he said your dad did say he was on the Steelers. I think he played for the Vikings too.
Yeah, he probably did. He started off for the Steelers for sure, but I most definitely just want to shout out to the whole city of Stockton as a whole too. Let's continue to work hard and push these young people to be better human beings, and keep paving the way for the next generation.
Yeah, for sure. Where can people find you? What handles you got on Facebook, Instagram?
Facebook, I think it's just my name. I just added my Facebook. Like, I just got back on here. Facebook is messy. I don't like it. I just do it because I just got on it, But
tell me about it.
I see stuff and I leave it, because it's just, it is what it is. Too messy for me. But Instagram, I'm DGraves7 on there, and then on Twitter, I'm Coach Derek Graves 7.
Your auntie in here. Your mom said we need to see you on the field with us, Mac. Man, I've been trying to get with him, Lori. I ain't gonna do that to him. He already extended the olive branch to me. I messed that up, but
we're gonna figure it out, man.
We still got time. Hey, man, I want to let you know I appreciate you for getting on. I want to give you your flowers. You're doing a hell of a job. Too, definitely, it's good to see all these black head coaches at these high schools, man. With you being one of them, help leading the way with that, bro. keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep being an impact on these kids' lives, bro. And we need more coaches like us that don't just care about wins and losses. We care about wins and losses in life, you know, and making sure that these kids don't get lost to the streets. Because I've been noticing a lot of that's been going on with some of these kids, even some kids I didn't coach. And, you know, I'm like,
yeah,
we can't get lost out there. We gotta stay more involved and active in these kids' lives. So keep doing what you're doing, man. Appreciate the time, man. Until next time. Hey, y'all, this has been the 3rd episode of the Not Afraid to Lose podcast. The one and only Coach Graves, man. Let's hope he go get that section title. It's hard. I'm an Edison boy, so I want you to win your thing, but I'm an Edison kid, man. Good luck to both of y'all, because I love both of y'all. Good luck to both.
Yeah, we all can win, man. That's a good part about it, man.
Everybody can't win that section title. I only go to one.
Edison, hey, you know, they Division I, we Division II. You know, let's make it happen.
But do y'all link up though? If to get to that section title, y'all would have to play each other, right?
No, they're Division I, we're Division II.
Oh, okay. So y'all. So how they play St. Mary's and y'all would play St. Mary's in the playoffs too then?
No, they don't play St. Mary's in the playoffs. They play them in league.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Division I and Division II is just based off of enrollment and then separating people.
Population and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Competition.
Right. Appreciate you, my boy.
All right, man. Hey, appreciate you, Mac. Thank you.
All right, off top. All right, y'all. We're going to wrap up this episode of the Not Afraid to Lose podcast. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll be here every Monday. We got dope interviews every Monday, showcasing local sports, coaches, players. I'm a Soul Vite too, but I'm repping Life for now. Hey, Lori, I coached the Junior Titans. Like most of the kids he coaching are kids I coach and won my first Super Bowl with. So I'm a Titan too, but I'm a Viking. I'm a Viking at heart, but I believe some Titan blood in me. I won my first Super Bowl with the Titans, so it's always gonna be Titan love. But yeah, we're gonna be doing this every Monday, either 6 or 7 o'clock, y'all. We got some more dope interviews. I will be posting the next interview. I'm waiting on a few others. We will be bringing different. We will be getting some kids too. We will be getting some kids on here. But right now we just want to cover the coaches from the start. We want to get some ladies on here, so I got a couple ideas, a couple people in mind. But yeah, we're just gonna keep trying to grow the platform and giving the local athletes a platform to be heard, to be seen. We will be doing some interviews at the games and stuff like that. Hopefully, since I know a lot of these coaches, hopefully they can give me a field pass so I can interview these people after the game, during the game, and all that. So y'all keep supporting though, y'all. Till next week. Love y'all. Not afraid to lose. 0 losses.